All right, so for this first one, we're going to plug in t values from -2 to +2. All right, so just plugging those in for the x equation. Now I'm going to plug them in for the y equation. And just remember, when you plot them, you don't need to look at these. You're just plotting these points. All right, did you guys end up with something that looks like this for the first one? Okay, and then when you do the orientation, it's the order in which you plotted them as t goes from -2 to 2. So it should go this way. And I usually at least put an arrow in between each point. All right, so to eliminate the parameter, you pick which equation looks easier. I would pick the first one. Solve it for t. You would divide by 2. So t equals 1/2 x. And then I'm going to take that and plug it in for t in the other equation. So it would be y equals negative and then 1/2 x squared plus 1. So y equals -1/4 x squared plus 1. And then, like, does that make sense? Like, did we get an upside down parabola? Do you know what I'm saying? And then x, you can just look at the graph here, goes from -4 to +4. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing for number 2. All right, so plugging these values in for the x equation. So did you guys get like an ellipse here, like an oval going clockwise? Do you want me to keep going? I was just going to write up the first 2, but do you want me to keep going? Like, did you get a chance to look at number 3 and want to check that one? All right, so you'd want to pick which one of these looks, well, I guess we're going to use this one here. You would multiply over the 4, so you would have x equals 4t. And so we're going to take that, and so that's the x equals. Like when it says write parametric equations x and y, you should have x equals something with t's in it, and then y equals something with t's in it. So that's the answer for x. And then for y, you're going to take that 4t and plug it in for these x's. It's basically just a lot of algebra. So this would be 4 squared is 16, double that is 32. So 32t squared plus 24t. So again, when it says write parametric equations x and y, you should have x equals and y equals as your answer. Let me just finish up 4, and then I'll give you guys a little bit more time to work, but just so I have the first page done. So find the derivative for these. So we're going to do derivative of y over derivative of x. So derivative of y, that would be 2e to the 3t, but then what would you have to multiply on for your chain rule? Yeah, 3, good. So 6e to the 3t. And then denominator, derivative of sine would be cosine. And then you'd have to, again, chain rule, multiply on a 1/2. So 1/2 cosine t over 2. All right, this means find what? Second derivative. All right, first we have to do the first derivative though. So derivative of y, that would be 12t squared minus 5. Derivative of x would be 3. And I heard you guys talking about this. I would simplify that down as well. That would be 4t squared minus 5/3. So then when you go to do the derivative of that, you would get 8t, the 5/3 is gone, and then you have to divide by the derivative of x again, which is 3. So 8t over 3. And I heard you guys talk through that once. You did excellent on it. All right, I hardly left any space for this because there's really not much to this one. Here are your parametric equations. The graph would have what slope? I'm just asking you for the derivative. What would be the derivative of y? 7, and then the derivative of x. That's literally all I'm asking you for there. That's like your thank you for attending question, okay? You got to have one of those, right? Yeah, that's true. True. All right, number 7. For what values of t does the curve given by these parametric equations have a vertical tangent line? You have more than enough information here because you only need one or the other of these. For vertical, are we going to set dy dt or dx dt equal to 0? Good. So this we don't even need. We're going to set dx dt equal to 0. Horizontal would be dy dt equals 0. All right, so dx dt would be 3t squared minus 4t plus 1. And so essentially this comes down to like an algebra sort of problem. We're going to factor that. It would split 3t and 1t. 1 would be 1 and 1. And good, thank you. They are both negative. So we get t equals 1/3 and t equals 1. I get that this one was hard. I threw a negative in there and I gave you a negative exponent. So like, it's just tough, right? It says write the equation. I have the point, I just need the slope. All right, so we're gonna need the derivative. All right, so derivative of y, that would be 8t. And then derivative of x, let me write this off to the side. This would be -1 t to the -3rd. All right, so if we do that derivative, these negatives would cancel. You would have 3t to the what? -4th, good. And so that would be 3 over t to the 4th. And then what are we going to plug into? Oh, we need t. So you can either set -1/8 equal to x or 16 equal to y. It doesn't make a difference. So here's the thing, if you set 16 equal to y though, yeah, you would divide over the 4. When you square root, is it going to be plus or minus? So I would actually do this one. So actually I just said it didn't matter, but actually I would probably do this one. -1/8, because you get how that's like, well, which one is it? Like you run into question marks there. Let's do the -1/8 equal to the x, -1 over t cubed. Those negatives are going to cancel. You would have 8 equals t cubed, and so t would be 2. So it would be the +2. So we're going to plug 2 in for this and see what we get. So 8 times 2 would be 16 over 3 over 16. So that would be 16 times 16/3. Remember, divide by a fraction means multiply by the reciprocal. You're flipping it over, and that would be 256/3. Phew, we worked hard for that one. Still not actually done though, because what was the question asking for? The equation, but we have everything now. You just kind of need to put it together. This is your point, and then this is your slope. So it would be y minus 16 equals 256/3. Don't discriminate, that's a great answer. Parenthesis x minus negative, so plus an 8. Don't ever give up on a problem like that, even if you get stuck. You get, oh, question? No? Are you sure? Okay. Because if you get stuck somewhere, like I can't give as much partial credit, but if you keep going, even if some of this isn't right, I can take off for that, but then I can give you the point for the final answer, if that makes sense. Like if you write an equation, I can give you the point for the equation. And then this is what we did today. Set up, but do not evaluate the integral, blah, blah, blah. All right, so this would be integral from 0 to 1, gigantic square root, blank squared plus blank squared, and then it's the derivatives that go in there. So what did you get for your derivative for x? 2t to the 9th. And then this one would be just 1/2 t, right? I'd like for us to at least square them. if I'm not going to make you do the antiderivative, you can at least square them for me, right? This would be 4t to the 18th. And then this would be 1/4 t squared.